Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Diana Romanovska and I am a certified family law specialist practicing family law in the Bay Area, California. There are many reasons when people are coming to my office and ask for a divorce. And one of them is when they're too young or immature. And today I would like to watch this video with different scenes and react to it based on actually what's happening in real life in my practice and how it correlates. Let's get into it.
You okay?
Yeah. It's just my parents are total infants. You think the divorce would make them stop fighting. Instead, I just think it makes it worse. Between the two of them, I feel like Switzerland, Except the hidden Nazi money.
You know, when most people think of Switzerland, they go to chocolate, maybe watches, but not you.
No. I wish we could do this every night.
College will be different.
Yeah, no, but I mean permanently, without roommates to juggle.
Well, maybe my roommate will crack under the pressure. We can get one of those psycho singles.
Sounds good. And if he doesn't, we can always just
psych him out.
Exactly.
It's just a matter of time, you know? A little blast at Harvard. Maybe even fit in a little studying.
Maybe a little.
So it looks like she's in a very tough spot because her parents are going through divorce, and she's a teenager, looks like, and when someone is experiencing their parents go through divorce, it's a very rough place to be and to make major life decisions. And it looks like the relationship with him is an outlet out of this routine of seeing parents fight yet again and again and again. And so trying to find someone normal who is not fighting and have this romance is an escape at the moment. It could be also true love, but they're very, very young, and it looks like he is, and she's waiting for acceptance at the university. They go to college, and it could be the same, could be different. Things are about to unfold in their life in a way that they cannot control, and they're fighting against the odds of being together because usually careers and their mental development and their career development most likely is going to bring them apart. Most likely, especially because her parents are going through divorce and she's in a very rough spot. So, lesson from this scene, I would say, to not make decisions in a very vulnerable place of parents go through divorce or someone is dying or somewhere where there is a grief process that needs to happen before making it go away by marrying someone.
Kelly and the baby. So I did. It's like Holly and me. All those years he was with my mom, it didn't mean anything.
We'll never be like that, okay? You always come first with me.
Yeah, you too. Hello? There's an envelope from Harvard and it's big. I got it!
Of course you did, bitch. Early admissions, baby, you're a goddess.
Yeah, thanks, Mom. Call your house.
Hey, Mom. Oops. Jessica got into Harvard. She says congratulations.
Thank you.
My envelope is small.
There's Mom.
Thanks. I got deferred.
So this is where the rubber meets the rope. That's really the moment where if they get married, it's probably not going to be peaceful because now she's going to Harvard, he's deferred, and their relationship is going to be either long distance or he's going to be an outsider there. It's like he's going out of the flow with what's happening, and only strong relationships can survive that. But she's coming from a place of parents divorcing. He's coming from a place of insecurity because now he has to accept the fact that he's not in the same spot she is, although they applied together. So this is already first crack.
Are you expecting? Yes. I can always tell. I'm due in August. Oh, well, you're just full of surprises, aren't you?
Anyway, what's this all about, huh? Well, Jessica and I got engaged.
What? Are you pregnant too? No. No. You're off to college. You have your whole lives ahead of you. What's the rush?
Well, we're still going to go to college.
Yeah, we know we want to be together, so we just don't see why we should wait.
Yeah, plenty of people do it when they go to college. It's not really an either or thing. We're going to do both.
When were you planning to do this?
Now.
Now?
But Jessica won't be 18 till next December, so we need written consent. Good luck.
So,
Look, you've got a brilliant future. You're going to Harvard, okay? I mean, there's no way I'm going to let you throw all that away just for him.
Watch your mouth, Roger.
Okay, you don't even know what the hell that means.
Like you're such an expert?
When you're 18, be able to do whatever you want. But until then, there's no way I'm going to be supporting you and your husband. Kelly, let's go.
So it's written on the walls that this is potentially most likely not going to work, because not only are they going to be in different locations, or even if they are together, it's a different path going through this major college experience where they're going to meet so many new people, so many new experiences, and love can conquer it all, but the chances are not in their favor. The relationship got to be solid. They have to trust each other, and they have to have a history of, and they don't have it. So, lesson from this: don't rush to fight the fate, meaning if the odds saying you got to go to Harvard, just, artificially binding their relationship is not going to make it stronger. It just, alone getting married and getting adapted to the fact that people are married and they have to live with each other. There is this lightness when people are not married. There is this hunting and pursuing, but if they're married, it feels like, okay, it's done. And so they're too young, they don't know each other that well, they haven't built trust yet, and now they're artificially binding it. So it just seems like a mistake.
I didn't get into Harvard.
it's not funny.
I'm not joking.
You got waitlisted, right?
Rejected.
But those other envelopes, they're thick.
The closest one is Vermont. 300 miles away. I let you down. I let us down. We had a plan.
And the plan was to be together. Okay? We still will be.
See each other on the weekends. Plenty of people have long-distance relationships. It's a good compromise, and you can still see each other and not jeopardize your educations.
Or I could blow up Harvard, get into wherever Max goes, and start January.
You're going to Harvard. Okay, this was my screw up, and it's mine to fix.
You didn't screw up anything. You were accepted in 5 very good schools.
My wife will be at Harvard. We had a plan, and I'm not going to make you suffer just because I can hold up my end of the bargain. You're going to Harvard, and I'll figure something out, okay? End of story.
That's admirable response, and that's the only way, because if he's going to be in the way of her getting to Harvard, then she's not going to forgive him, and he's not going to forgive himself in the relationship unless he's a narcissist and he doesn't care. But a normal, caring person in this type of situation would respond the same way, because loving people would like the best for each other. And it seems that Harvard at this point is one of the most reputable universities, and giving it away for a relationship will drag relationship down. It's not going to sustain the time. It's just going to be worse if he said the opposite.
Hey, do you feel like we haven't been connecting much lately?
I gotta jump, babe. Catch you later. It's just killing you that I'm not in school, isn't it?
Well, you spent the last 3 years talking about going to college, and now you're saying that you don't want to go. You're totally changing the plan on me. I think that I'm entitled to be just a little bit upset.
Because I don't fit in with you and your brilliant new friends?
No, the guy that I fell in love with, he had dreams and a future like mine. We had the same goals, and we wanted the same thing.
Jess.
And he trusted me. So,
What do you want from me, Jess?
Well, another red flag in a relationship is when couple is not able to handle conflicts. I would never leave a situation like she did, because by leaving, sometimes it's important to leave before saying things that she might regret later. But leaving a conflict and not work through it is a sign of immaturity. So then there's another red flag where he's changing his plans on her. Let's say before marriage, people agreed to have children together, and then right after they got married, he's like, I don't want children, or she says that. And that's a big element of deceit, although it's not technically fraud according to the legal rules for annulment, but it's a breakdown when people are dishonest in order to get into a relationship and then change their plans, their mind, and they're allowed to do that. It's not like it's set in stone, but so quickly and so unexpectedly, so and without warning and without working through it and without talking about this. So lesson from this scene is probably not to leave a conflict unless leaving creates more peace, and work through it. And the second is to, instead of hiding like he did and not connecting and then dropping the news that he changed what they discussed before, discussing it, connecting. Have a dialogue instead of just, I'm not going to do what we discussed.
I went out with a Harvard chick once. She was hot. Smoked these clove cigarettes. It was great when we were alone, but her scene and mine, they don't mix.
Man, you should have seen her face when I told her I didn't want to go to college. Might as well have harpooned her.
Turns out I broke 2 fingers. It was a nightmare.
yeah, I can imagine. I mean, it's fun.
What's your study?
Hey, Max. Have a seat, man.
What are you doing?
And we barely see each other. Once you get to the library, I thought you could use a break from your study.
Max! Max! What's your deal?
You?
We've been studying for like 5 hours and we took a break. It's not a federal crime.
That's an interesting choice of words.
Carter and I are just friends. Don't you trust me?
I used to, but ever since we came here, it's like you're this totally different person.
I said the exact same thing about you.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm out of here.
Again, the same pathology that he's leaving now the conflict instead of, he wants to be with her. He interfered the scene where he's jealous and he might have a reason for it, but leaving it out in the streets like that, it's just counterproductive. So lesson from this scene is, again, don't leave the conflict and set expectations. Was there an expectation that if she has free time that she would spend it with him? Or is it okay that she spends it with someone else? And I think couples just don't talk about this. And he's rightfully upset if he's expected that she would spend time with him on her break, but if he didn't communicate it, how would she know? It's not very common sense for everyone, right?
What's going on?
I say it's always for a little while.
You breaking up with me?
I'm married, Max. You don't break up, you do a trial separation.
I don't know what this is.
I don't know, okay? Something's changed, and it's major.
So you're just gonna take off?
Don't make this more difficult than it has to be.
It seems like a common theme in immature relationships to leave the conflict, leave the uncomfortable feeling of whatever is going on. And on his end, what's going on, he's completely oblivious when he created this pathology of the same pattern of not communicating. So it's a sign of immaturity. And lesson from this scene is, well, don't be surprised if she's leaving when you leave her on the street and leave the conflict.
I can do whatever I want. I don't need to follow anyone else's schedule.
I'll drink to that.
And Jessica's cool and everything, but by the end, all we did was fight.
Look, Max, we were just...
Don't do this, okay?
What, am I just supposed to pretend this is all okay? You don't take my calls. You don't answer my emails. You know you're still my wife, Jess. You've forgotten that.
Oh, yeah? You're not exactly by yourself here.
Hey, cool down, man, okay?
You need to stay out of this, okay?
Let's just go, okay?
So he's with another woman, she's with her friend, and he is demanding an answer from her on the street in front of everyone else. So conflict solving skill 0. So what's the lesson in this? Hire a therapist, hire a coach, how to deal with a relationship. We don't learn this in school. We don't learn this unfortunately, from our parents either. And in fact, we learn the opposite. So having to expect immature young person to know how to handle a difficult conflict situation is impossible. So lesson from here, hire professionals to help to have friends who are more mature, or parents, ideally professional, because parents are going through divorce, they have their own problems. To hire someone who will help to work through this in a mature way. And it has nothing to do with age. I mean, more likely than not, it happens to young people because they have to go through these experiences more than once to learn. But it doesn't have to be this way, right? We have internet. We can hire people and experts over Zoom right now. It's just so easy. And the heartbreak and pain is much worse than having 1-hour consultation with a professional.
Really good, boy?
The sooner you and Jessica make a clean break, the sooner you can move on.
Me get a divorce.
Honey, you're so young. Maybe you can get an annulment.
Well, just because you're so young, you cannot get an annulment. In order to get an annulment, you would have to have a reason, such as fraud. And there is no fraud in this. I don't see it. I mean, they probably consummated the marriage. They married at a legal age in their state, I would assume. So, I mean, if she agreed that it's an annulment and they would file paperwork and both said it's an annulment, then nobody's going to contest it. The court doesn't care if they both are in agreement. But if one person wants an annulment and another person wants a divorce, then you have to prove the reasons for annulment. So, lesson from this scene is, it's tough to say, but know when to stop the insanity. And I think he didn't learn along the way how to communicate, how to deal with his insecurities. And now he has to face the consequence, which is sort of the consequence of insanity. He leaves the conflict, he leaves her on the street, she does the same thing, and then they're leaving the relationship, which is not solving the core issue, how to resolve conflicts with the next person even. So they could have at least attempted to learn this new skill of resolving conflict, communication, hiring an expert, maybe even couple therapists. So, and it seems like this young couple is not invested enough. That fire, love, the reason why they got married was not enough to sustain that longevity. So I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, comment down below, and I will see you in my next consultation. Bye.